solve the two-step problem. Number 5 asks us to solve. This is part 2. I'm covering letter D, letter E, letter F, and letter G. Let's take a look here. You have the divide 3 here and a minus 5 attached. You can't really follow this format because you can't get rid of that negative 5 because it's attached to the top of the fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that divide by 3 first. Okay, so we're going to multiply by its reciprocal. So 3, we're going to multiply the fraction on the left by 3. Also, I make sure I do it to the right. Why? Because notice there's a 3 on top and a 3 on bottom. That will cancel, leaving you with a 1. So you have a 1 and you have a x minus 5 left over on the left hand side. Okay, because this cancels to make the number 1. This cancels to make the number 1. So bring down the equal sign. 20 times 3, which is 60. Now we add 5 to both sides. Why? Because that's how we get rid of your minus or your negative 5. This negative 5 plus 5 will cancel, leaving you with a 0. Bring down everything else. Bring down the x, bring down the plus, bring down the equal sign. 60 plus 5 is 65. No one writes this 0, so x is equal to 65. Next, we have a 1/4 times x plus 11 equals to 10. If you want to distribute the 1/4 inside, you're going to make the problem uglier because you're introducing a fraction. So what you want to do is try to get rid of that divide by 4. Okay, so we're going to multiply it by its reciprocal of 4 over 1. Why? Take a look. Okay, 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Do you see how you make the number 1? It's going to cancel. That's why I do that. I multiply the left by 4 over 1. I have to make sure I multiply the right by 4 over 1. This cancels, leaving you with the number 1. Okay? It's technically, it looks like this. 1 parentheses x plus 11. But no one really writes that 1 in front. So the left-hand side is just really 11, x plus 11 equal 10 times 4, which is 40. We have a plus 11 on the left, so we're going to subtract 11 to both sides because this is going to be canceled, leaving you with a 0 on the left. Bring down the x, so it's x plus 0 equals to, I think it's 26, no, 29. Okay, no one writes that 0, so x is equal to 29 here. F. There's multiple ways to do F. Okay, I'm going to do it with the getting rid of the 4 here. So to get rid of the 4 here, you divide because you know how it's attached via multiplication. So if you divide this by 4, divide this by 4. 4 over 4 just becomes 1. So there's technically, this becomes 1. Then you have parentheses x plus 2, but no one really writes that 1. So this just goes away, just leaving you with a very pretty x plus 2 on the left hand side. 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Subtract 2 to both sides because plus 2 minus 2 becomes a 0. Bring everything else down. Bring down the x, bring down the plus symbol, bring down the equal sign. 5 minus 2 gets us 3. No one ever writes this 0. It's just x equals to 3. Same thing with G, but this time I'm going to actually distribute it to see if my life is easier. Distribute that in. This gets us 4x. Distribute this in. Gets us a negative 28. Okay, equals to negative 7. So I'm going to add 28 to both sides. This cancels, leaving you with a 4x plus 0 equals to, I think that is a plus 21. No one ever writes that 0 plus 0, so you can just write 4x equals to 21. This is attached via multiplication, so you're still having to divide by 4 to both sides. 4 over 4 becomes the number 1, leaving you with a 1x is equal to 21 divided by 4. That can't be simplified, can it? No. So the answer is 21 over 4. Okay. All right. I'm going to do it okay. So that's good. All right. Let me show you what happens if you try to do it the other way. Okay. Watch what happens when you try to actually divide the 4 out here. So divide by 4, divide by 4. Notice the left-hand side becomes pretty. It cancels, this cancels, leaving you with an x minus 7. Equal sign, negative 7 over 4, negative 7 over 4. Do you see that? It's still ugly, right? This gets it very ugly. This is the reason why this time I actually distribute the 4 over, okay? So you just have to get used to, doing it one way and seeing it gets pretty. If I did it this way, it would have gotten ugly. That's why I didn't do that way, okay? That intuition just comes from just doing multiple of these problems, right? So there you go.